Smart Talk 1490 KMET.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. It's good to have you with us. On today's show, we got lots to talk about, including some things that, well, we've been talking about in the past few weeks. I know you're sick of it. I know. I think the better thing to say is I'd rather you be sick of the information rather than getting sick at all, especially if you want to enjoy the weekend and or the weeks coming up ahead. We got Jesse Sanchez over there checking out the news headlines. What's going on, Jesse?
Good morning. Oh my God. Okay, so I find it funny how fast news travels on TikTok before it reaches the actual news,
Yeah.
and it moves so fast. So I've been watching these TikToks for a while, and this guy he was talking about this plantation down in Georgia or no Mississippi. My apologies. What's the one type of structure you do not want to make into a bed and breakfast on a plantation?
Ooh, good question. I don't know. Tell me, Jesse.
Yeah, you don't want to use a former slave quarters as a bed and breakfast.
I can see
So
that. I can see. I-
yeah, just
what
like so.
happened there, Jesse?
Oh my God, I was just like, how? What? In whose right mind did you think this was a good idea? I mean, I can understand the historical value, but not
Are
turning
they
it
having
into
reenactments that people aren't telling others about? I mean, it's not the
oh
time to
my
do it.
that would be horrible, but no. Airbnb came under fire this week after a TikTok video. Yeah, it did. It went viral, showcasing a listing that the owner had described as an 1830s slave cabin, and
Okay.
people went for it.
Oh God. Oh no.
So the company has since apologized and vowed to make changes to other listings of former slave quarters. Oh my God, are other people doing this too?
Uh-oh. Ding, 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 ding. I can tell you right now, there are some people that are like, yeah, bring back. And I'm like, no, run away from those people. I guarantee you. I can't wait to go to the weekend and have slave labor. Ding, 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 ding. Right? Yeah, that's not going to work. Go ahead, Jesse. What else does the article say?
So yeah, the TikTok caption, this is not okay. Obviously, it was listed at the Panther Burn Cottage at the Belmont Plantation in Greenville, Mississippi. The particular structure, the Panther Burn Cabin, I don't know why that does not sound good.
No, it
Is an 18
doesn't.
is an 1830 slave cabin from the extant Panther Burn Plantation to the south of the Belmont. It has been used as a tenant sharecropper's cabin and a medical office for local farmers and their families to visit the plantation doctor. Yeah. No.
Wow. Okay, well, you know what? I mean, I think I'm at a loss for words. I'm not going to say that, like, I know exactly what to say on this, but I will say this. Like, I think of reenactments like the Civil War, right? Like, they do those, right, of the Civil War. But I think people forget why it was so heated at the time, because, again, the Civil War was among many things that people were like, hey, we don't agree with this. And others were like, dude, don't take away our labor. You know what I mean? So I think at the end of the day, who thought it was a good idea again?
Uh, I don't know. There's not a particular person, but the plantation is called the Panther Burn Cottage at the Belmont Plantation. So the Belmont Plantation.
So the owners of the Belmont plantation thought, "Hey, why not?" Okay, I could see how they thought. Well, Airbnb does experience. Let's do experience right. I say it's experience wrong because that's going to create a problem, especially in with the people that find out, right? So I wonder who booked it. Well, anyway, that's hey, maybe they. You know what they should do? Here's a thought. If they want to get it like going really good, you should switch it up and do all white as slave.
What do you mean?
You don't get it? Like, you flip the script.
Ah, gotcha. No, I don't like slaves in general.
No, white
Uh,
people as slaves. I think it would be an interesting, like, lesson, don't you think?
it would be a horrible lesson,
No,
but
you put white people. Look, okay.
I
I think it would be interesting to put, and you can't get in trouble for it because it's like, okay, how do you think it felt. I would be like, you get what I'm
Okay,
saying?
like doing it for a day, kind of
Shoot,
thing.
do it for a week, man. That's too easy.
Yeah.
Some people go like, okay, some people are still of that mindset in scenarios like that. I guarantee it. Because they're like, well, back in the day, I'm like, no, 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 man. There's a thing. Okay, you go way back in the day. I had this discussion with somebody. I said, back in Egypt, Israelites of Israel were slaves, right, to the king and whoever was like dominant at the time, right? So slaves go way back, and for people that really kind of do the research, and I was interested to kind of see, Egypt is in Africa, right? So a lot of slave labor happened in Africa and abroad, right? And then it spread to other states and other areas. Some took care of the slave person as a person like that would have rights, at some point, and then they would get their rights at some point, kind of like which again people have it's hard, but when you look at the history of just man, slaves go way back. Now, having said that, I think if you flip the script and you had a bunch of white people actually be the slave, A, I think people would be upset, and B, I would be like, yeah, but you're okay with doing this on the opposite? Like, you know what I mean? So I wonder at this Airbnb if they had like, you know what I mean? Like, so I think you should flip the script. Why not?
I mean, if they had like historically accurate like representation on what it was like to be in a slave, I don't know. I wouldn't even want to. I've seen the horror stories where.
Well, there's a lot of movies on that, right? Now, those are reenactments, but they reenact to tell stories to say, hey, we don't want that again, right? And so I think if anything, like Jesse, you wouldn't do good as a slave. I guarantee you'd probably beat up the person like making you a slave.
No, I will not be slave. They'll have to kill me first.
I think they would, Jesse. I
I
think you would be like, let's revolt.
I do not take directions well from people yelling at me, and if they start hitting me, I'm gonna be like, really?
I know.
No.
You would be one of the ones to fight back, okay? But those ones, it's interesting. I saw a couple films, and it was like, of the time, it was so a thing that if you fought back, you would kind of like, they would band up together and be like, okay, one of you stepped out of line, we're gonna, you know what I mean? So it was so bad. It's one of those things where we want to say we never want to go back to that time again with anyone, right? So I think it's interesting that this is a discussion because I think Airbnb is going to have to make a lot of. This is going to get out, and it's going to get out in a bad way. People are going to be like, "Excuse me, you're condoning what?" And I'm going to be like, "Look, just flip the script, put it on white people, have that happen. I think everybody will be fine, except again." White people. They'll be like, what? 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 You think it's okay? Why not?
Yeah. No. Yeah. All slaves are bad. I mean, I. Yeah. It's just. I'm just like, how do you think this was a good idea?
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, plus all these reviews, like so many good reviews. I'm like, how can you sleep peacefully in a place where it housed slaves?
Well, back to something I just said. So again, Israelites, which are more white-ish than not, were slaves, right? People just forget the history. So Eugenia agrees with me. She's in Georgia. By the way, Eugenia, definitely be careful over there. I understand if you've seen some of the news headlines, monkeypox is a big thing in Georgia right now. A lot of people are getting it. A lot of people are sharing their experience. So be careful out there. And one person said she thinks she got it. I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it because I told people wear gloves. She thinks she got it through, honestly, her job where she was handling money. So some of the news articles have come out recently, and they've been spreading more good information than bad information, because I've been hearing bad information left, right, and center. And some of them are now saying, hey, by the way, it's not a HIV thing, meaning it's not an STD. It can be spread in that way, like if you're in bed with a partner who has it. But honestly, it could be spread from hand-to-hand contact, from sheets, or just from anything that you kind of touch that somebody else touches that's infected. All right. So you got to be careful out there with that. That's number one. Number two, be aware that it is here, especially in LA, San Bernardino, Riverside, I think even in Orange County and up north as well, surrounding in California, which is why we have a concern. The concern actually is not just national, which has just been announced as of yesterday, but also it's a concern here in our own neck of the woods. So I've been saying to certain people, including my mom, I said, look, when you go out, wear gloves. When you go out, wear just whatever you can to not get it, because some of the information that they're not saying is like, okay, when you get it, you'll be fine with it if you get certain treatment. But the problem is, if you look at the math of the treatment, there's not enough to go around. Okay, so I had heard a conversation yesterday, which was, yeah, but we have vaccines for this, and I was like, I didn't want to jump in on the conversation because I thought it would be kind of like weird, right? But I wanted to say, so I'll say it to everyone here, yeah, but if you do the numbers, there's not enough to go around with the amount of people that will be infected. That's the people that say, hey, I got it. The other people that will be infected and that will find it, you're going to spread it more because you're going to touch it. You're going to it's itchy. All right. And then you spread it to other parts of the body. You need to keep it localized. Okay. And you need to just keep it so that you don't touch it. If you can, put a nice soft bandage over it and just stay away from touching it, because you will spread it to other parts of your body and it will get out. Now, I also heard a report where somebody said, oh, it's fine within 4 to so many weeks. I said, no, it's not. It stays in the body. Your symptoms may subside, but within 3 months, around 30% of the people, and we're looking at new statistics on this, 30% of the people will eventually die from it. Okay, there's a lot of people with problems in their body already. It capitalizes on that. So it's more than just a skin disease, which is exactly what it is. It gets to the body as well. So if you have maybe a problem with your liver or your kidney, or maybe you're thinking, no, I don't really have problems with that, but you have fatigue and you have other things, if you're already immunocompromised, if you have diabetes, if you have other health concerns, even heart disease and other such things, this can exacerbate it. So what we're going to see in the next few months is a totaling of deaths from this, but they'll probably say, in essence, we don't know what caused it. But I'll say, if you had monkeypox and you end up dying from it several months later, it's most likely monkeypox creating a problem in your body, especially those with intestinal problems. If you have intestinal issues, that can also be a problem. And I've been talking to some very important I shouldn't say important, some very smart scientists and some smart biologists behind the scenes, and they kind of given me some information. I said, well, people need to know about this. So the information is getting out there on the news, but you need to just be aware, don't get it. And as difficult as that is to say, if you find somebody that has a breakout, A, steer clear, B, tell them to go to the hospital, get treatment. But when they go to the hospital, there's a certain set of protocols that are going to be kind of instituted in the next few weeks, because they don't want it spread to other people in the hospital. It's that contagious, okay? This is one of those things that if people start to meet you with, like, gear, it's the safest thing for nurses and or doctors, but nurses and doctors will be getting this soon because they're treating it already. And it's just one of those things, again, I tell people, don't think it's only... because it's been reported a few times, I've heard it by way too many people, oh, it's only a community thing, like the LGBTQ. No, it's not. Anybody can and will get it because it's a skin thing. If you remember it's a skin thing, you could get it through a handshake, then Jesse, don't handshake anybody anytime soon. You got it?
Yeah, gotcha. Fist bumps only. Wait, no fist bumps. I'm just gonna kick him. Gotcha.
There you go. Yeah. That's why I say, when you said, "What do you mean footsies?" I mean, with my shoe, I kind of like, hey, like back in the day. Remember when you had that little bean bag, and then you would bean bag that thing like on your knee and on your foot? You remember that? It's like that. I would just, man, it's just thinking about this. Anyway, Algenia, be careful out there in Georgia. I saw a report there. They're kind of going, what happened there? So be careful. But she says, yes, that's a made-for-history movie. Reverse the global role. Make it so the opposite has to experience it. But yeah, there you go. Stephanie Reed, tuning in, Cleveland, Ohio, says, hello, happy editing and writing out scripts for the Score Sunshine Austin. That's busy day ahead. You know what? Good job, Stephanie. I will say, I've been saying to some people, go ahead and write a script, or, say it and then put it on voice recorder, download that. I've been doing that with a couple things. I wrote a comic over the last few days with my mom, and I said, okay, just listen to this. This is kind of the story, and she was amused by the third I guess you could call it the third book or the third chapter. Let's see. Casey tuning in over there. Eugenia says we have to be careful. Yes. Viviana saying yesterday U.S. announced is national. Yeah, it's a national warning, and that means that they're enacting certain things in order to save people ahead of it because, again, back to numbers and statistics. You ever watch a movie, Jesse, where they have like, okay, worst case scenario, and I think like The Day After Tomorrow, there's a couple of them where they put in front of the like president and like a board of people. This is how bad it is, right? And they showed like the statistics. If you watch the movie Pandemic, okay, I had my mom watch that a couple of days ago, and I said this is the problem with things like this, and it was just generalizing Ebola, which is here, and the flu, which has been a thing for quite some time, the influenza, right? But how is it spread? And so if you get to watch anything on Netflix, get your mind ahead of the things coming and just watch Pandemic. Watch the first 2, maybe 3. It's a really good documentary. It's all real. It came out, I think, in 2019. Well, actually, it came out in 2020. It was released right ahead of coronavirus. But it doesn't talk coronavirus because coronavirus wasn't around when it was filmed. They were just talking about influenza and how they were trying to get ahead of that. So it's a very interesting documentary. Go check it out. It's like a 40-minute kind of like, okay, get your mind smart because these things have a way of getting out from one to the other. And let's just put it this way. Nobody's going to want to get monkeypox, okay? If I show you some pictures or you find somebody with it, Jesse, why does your face say that right now?
Do not Google those monkeypox pictures. Do not do that. You'll be traumatized.
You need to be traumatized. That way it's like, because you're going to have people that say, oh, it's not real. You're going to have people that say, oh, I'm not going to get it because I'm not gay. You're having a lot of people. I've heard this literally in the past few days. I say, you got to get that out of your head, man. Anybody can and will get it, okay? Don't be stupid, okay? Anybody can get it. It's not a gay thing. It's not a LGBTQ thing. It's not a community thing. It's an everyone thing, okay? That's how it started. That's how it's going, and that's how we need to get ahead of it because we're not ahead of it, all right, people? Anyway, it's not just you get it? It's just not. Jesse could have it and give it to everyone at the station if he had it, right? That's the problem. So, please don't. But a woman said she might have gotten it from getting money from somebody else. That was in Georgia, Jesse. So we're not safe. Okay, yeah. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more right after these messages.
Here's to your health with Joshua Lane. Ideas you can use to be healthy and stay healthy. The current thinking about beauty, fitness, and longevity. Every Tuesday and Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Wellness talk you can use. Here's to your health with Joshua Lane on KMET, naturally.
New teen driver in the family? Just bought your first home? Have a new bundle of joy? Every life change matters, and by reviewing your insurance policy with Little & Sons Insurance Services, you could be benefiting with big savings. Little & Sons Insurance Services, a family-owned insurance agency who values the old-fashioned way of doing business. They work for you, not an insurance company, meaning your best interests are at heart. They can custom tailor your policy based on specific needs at a price you can afford. Home, auto, or business, you're covered. Call 1-844-9-LITTLE. That's 1-844-9-LITTLE, or go online to little, the letter N, sons.com. That's littlensons.com.
Tired of waiting in line for overpriced coffees and packaged rolls? Make a change and stop for coffee or espresso and a fresh homemade apple fritter or ham and cheese croissant at Donut Delight on Highland Springs Road in Banning, just off the I-10 freeway. Donut Delight is a family-owned business with a friendly staff who has served the past area for 22 years. Donut Delight on the corner of Highland Springs Road and Ramsey Street, just off the I-10 freeway. Donut Delight opens daily at 4:30 a.m.
Join Yvette Walker every Tuesday at 4 o'clock p.m. on KMET ABC News Radio, 1490 a.m., FM 98.1, and Internet KMET TV for the Southern California Business Report. The show is dedicated to highlighting success successful businesses and the individuals behind them. Event interviews the incredible people managing these enterprises that range from awe-inspiring sole proprietors to world-renowned organizations. The Southern California Business Report, Tuesdays at 4 o'clock p.m.
When you want the best performance for your vehicle, think only of Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont, right off the I-10 and 60 freeways. Check out Scott's complete list of performance products on their website at hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers can recommend ways for your car or truck to get better gas mileage and cut down on emissions. Need your car or truck to pass smog only? Go to Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont. Find out all of your questions on vehicle performance by logging on to hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont. hdrinfo.com.
Get up to the minute forecast and temperatures for Beaumont, Banning, Redlands, Palm Springs, your community, national or international cities, on KMET's website, KMET1490am.com. The station now features AccuWeather. AccuWeather offers weekend and extended forecasts along with the latest radar map and current conditions. AccuWeather on KMET1490am.com. Log in every morning for your daily forecast.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM, also 98.1 FM. We appreciate you. And don't forget on all the great, download our app. It's free. KMET 1490 AM. It's on your phone, and you can get it, and you can take care of business with us and get smart along the way. I know Jesse always gets smart along the way, especially in the next few days. I know he's got a story I want to share, but I kind of want to show this really quick, Jesse, and I think you need to see this. And it's a mild form, okay? It's not as bad as I'm not saying it can't get worse, but I'm saying the picture I'm about to show isn't as extreme as some pictures you will see normally, okay? This lady is the one I'm talking about in Georgia, okay? And she says something very important. Now, you see the breakout underneath and to the side of her face, okay? That right there is going to be a problem probably the next few weeks, okay? But having said that, I'm glad she kind of came out about this because she's a cashier. And she said this, and this is what I keep saying to people, so I'm going to probably quote this a lot. And I think people need to kind of get this in their head because she literally says this. She says, I just want you all to know I did not do anything sexual to contract this disease. This thing is spreading. It's here. Okay, now she's a cashier. Her thought is that she got it from someone as she was kind of collecting money, and she's at a gas station. Does that make sense? So she's a cashier at a gas station, and she's like, look, she's being honest. Like, I didn't get this through some way that you guys are all reporting, which is, I mean, maybe she's not dating anyone. There's a lot of people that aren't dating anyone that will still get it. Okay, somebody said even from like dancing and or just other things, rubbing up against somebody. Like I keep saying, it's an elbow thing, it's a hand thing, it's a thing. Now, she got it on her face, but I think she got it on her face because she probably rubbed her hands on her face. Okay, that's how you usually get it that way. But those will probably be a problem within the next few weeks. But like I say, it's a problem for, honestly, months, okay? You want to monitor monkeypox for at least 3 to 4 months, okay? You need to. You can't think, once it gets kind of better, it scabs over, and then it gets better, it's going to be fine the rest of the way. It's not like chickenpox. People are referring to it as chickenpox. It's not. If you had like a scale of what was worse, somebody recently said, it's like smallpox. No, it's different than smallpox. It's actually worse than smallpox. Somebody said, and they misquoted it, they said, it's like a child of smallpox. It's not. Think of chickenpox, like if you had a graph. You have chickenpox, you have smallpox, and then you have monkeypox. Monkeypox is worse because monkeypox within 3 to 4 months may kill up to or around 30 to 38% of people that get it to begin with. That's why you don't want it, okay? Now, those that get well from it eventually will still have a problem because it'll still be an outbreak, kind of like herpes. Anybody that has herpes or a cold sore that comes out every now and then, it's the same thing. This is something you do not want. And when you have a breakout, just like herpes or a cold sore, if you, especially in the beginning stages, started kissing someone, they could get. That's how a lot of people, they estimate about anywhere from like 80 to some percent, actually have a form of herpes known as a cold sore, right? That breaks out. That's why they have like Abreva and other things for that. I know a lot of people that get like that, and I go, okay, I get it. But that's a mild form of something that could get worse, which is monkeypox. Okay, monkeypox is something that will not go away until you have the cure. And right now we don't have the cure for it. Okay, we have a vaccine that helps you fight it, but the best time to get it is before, not after, which is why, again, I say we don't have enough. Even though the Biden administration has declared the monkeypox virus a public health emergency, and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have said there are more than at least anywhere from 13 to 14,000 cases. They're underreporting right now because I've seen numbers in the past few weeks that were 8,000 and above, and now I see 6,000. The information's off. But either way you slice it or dice it, it's bad. And in Georgia, at least according to this, with this lady that we're talking about, she says there are, I'm sorry, not her, but they're saying there are about 500 some cases there, and some are women. Okay, so again, it's not a LGBTQ thing. I have to keep saying that because somehow people are understanding that it is, and it is not. Okay, people can get it. Grandma can get it. She doesn't have to even have like, you know, she doesn't have to have a Tinder date in order to get it. Okay, you know, your aunt and uncle may get it, and they may honestly not be dating anyone. Okay, it is not a, as this woman put, you know, it's not like an STD. HIV is, right? Now, HIV you can get a multitude of ways, including blood. I think they need to screen for this, Jesse, and people that have it in the next few months. I don't know if they're going to, but people that get blood transfusion, just like they did finally get like HIV, you know, kind of tested, because some people got HIV just through blood transmission in back in the day of the 80s. Then they started testing for it. They said, no, we can't accept that. That's why there's a certain set of like things that you have to answer, and then they check for it and they see if you're a proper, you know, donor. But this is going to be a problem if somebody doesn't know they have it, or worse yet, they had it and they think, oh, well, now because I don't have any scabs or any breakout, I'm going to be fine. I would say no. You need to always be aware, at least for 3 to 4 months. I'd even say up to a year. Monitor it with your doc and make sure that you get the latest information on it, because there's more information coming out. In the next few months, we're going to be more smart about it, but it's not out yet because it's so new. That's the problem. People think they're the expert on this, and they're not until you talk to biologists and our chemists and our others that say, no, guys, we don't want to get this. Okay, one person said, are we going to go back in lockdown? I said, probably not. But if they want to get a handle on it, the answer would be they should, because you want to get the people that are getting it and then giving it to honestly be in quarantine, and then you also want to stamp it out by it not being like spread left, right, and center, which is what's happening right now. Everybody's in a free-for-all, meeting people, shaking hands, you know, some wearing masks, some not wearing masks. But again, you don't, and this is to the people that say, well, a mask doesn't help. It can be spread through your skin. So this is where, honestly, and I hate using this word, I really do, distance from at least 8 feet, okay? Because you do not want to get it on the skin, all right? If somebody has it, they may not even know they have it, all right? In the first 3 days, you really don't know you have it until probably the 4th, 5th, and 6th day when you go, why do I itch so much? Then, within a few days of that, you start seeing bumps. Then you get it, Jesse. It gets bad. So what do you think?
No, I have no doubt that it gets bad. Just the people that I'm worried about, the people that just ignore the fact that they have it and just decide to ignore it.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. And if you have friends and or family that you care about, don't get it to your friends or family, because that right now, I'll tell you right now, if they found out that you did it, they're going to be mad at you for the rest of life. There is nothing fun with monkeypox, okay? Coronavirus, people aren't as mad. You know, they kind of go, all right, I get it, you know. But there are some people that habitually get coronavirus. They get well from it, but they get everyone else sick around them. Don't be that person, okay? I know some people are like, well, if I get it, you gotta get it. I'm like, no, don't be that person, man. What if their mom or grandma gets sick from it? You're gonna be that person? Don't be that person. All right, people, we're gonna take a quick little break. We'll be back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
KMET 1490 AM with you everywhere you go by downloading our free smartphone apps found on the KMET website, KMET1490am.com. You can also go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store on your phone to download the free app. Now you can listen live or play any of your favorite programmers' podcasts using your smartphone. Go to KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
Summer in the Inland Empire. You know what that means. Sunny days and hot temperatures that make you want to stay inside. Franklin Mechanical Systems can repair or replace your air conditioning unit to get it working cool before the heat hits. For cleaning, repair, or a new installation, call them for a free estimate. Franklin Mechanical Systems for all your residential and commercial air conditioning needs. Call their mobile office at 951-845-1000. That's 951-845-1000 and get cool today.
Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions is now Beaumont Pharmacy with a new location at the Sundance Corporate Center. That's at the corner of Highland Springs and 8th in Suite 110. Of course, they still have Pack Your Meds. No more counting out the pills, dropping them on the floor. Oh, what a mess. And they have a full selection of pharmaceutical CBD, wheelchairs, over-the-counter meds, you name it, they've got it. So if you're looking for the best and you want the best pharmacy, you go to Beaumont Pharmacy at their new location, 835 North Highland Springs, Beaumont Avenue in Beaumont, California, Suite 110. Give them a call, 951-845-8252.
The Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Banning is distinctively suited for your travel time out of the car. You'll find a courteous, welcoming staff and spacious rooms with desks, flat-screen TVs, and comfortable furnishings. Enjoy the complimentary breakfast buffet, high-speed internet, and a fitness center and pool, conveniently located off the I-10 freeway near golf, gaming, and entertainment. For reservations and information, call 951-572-5500 or go online to HIEBanning.com.
We're in the studio with Fred Penny, managing attorney with Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers. Fred, tell us what makes you the number one choice for handling personal injury cases.
Most of our firm is made up of former insurance company trial lawyers with extensive experience handling all types of personal injury matters. We believe that gives us a distinct advantage.
That's Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers with locations throughout California. For a free consultation, go to pennyandassociates.com or call 1-800-616-4-LAW. That's 1-800-616-4-LAW.
Hello, listeners. This is Christopher from The Christopher Show. Hey, if you missed one of our shows here at KMET, don't worry about it. You can go to our webpage, and that's KMET1490am.com. Go to the homepage, click on the SoundCloud tab, and hear any show anytime you want.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. And this is something, again, if anybody says to me, hey, you're just spreading fear, I say, you know what, better to spread that than monkeypox. There is nothing about it you want, okay? So I'm going to say this here and now. You may think I'm being extreme on this, but I'm not. And the fact that the U.S. is actually saying we need to go next level with this is very important, okay? Let me bring this kind of to people's awareness. When the administration declares monkeypox as a health emergency, that enacts certain things to be able to kind of, let's put it this way. Do they have enough vaccines? No. Will this get them what they need eventually for it? Yes. Do they need funds for this? The answer, yes. Will they need to extend it? The answer, yes. They're not ahead of it. According to this, they're saying that it may last for 90 days, but it may be extended. That's 100% true. It's going to be extended for at least a year. This is a problem, okay? And this is why I say, do wear something protective, okay? Wear long sleeves. I know it's warm, but wear long sleeves and be very, very, very aware of your surroundings, especially when shopping, okay? There was a news article about could you get it through something that someone else touches? The answer is yes. In 2020, People were getting sick, if you remember, through some main areas, to the drive-through at the shopping, remember? Because people were getting sick there, and they had to kind of close down, then they had to disinfect everything. And then, honestly, through toilets, okay? So, I will say this, and I'll say this, and I'll leave it at least a little. Be aware when you go out, especially in LA, especially in Orange County, especially in San Bernardino and or Riverside, and in areas where this is a major concern. It's now in 48 states, Jesse. Okay, do you remember when we were just reporting it was in New York, it was in Florida, it was in Texas, and it was in here in California?
Oh yeah. There was only a few cases in those small states, or in those states, yeah. But
Yeah.
it's grown quite big.
It's grown big, and it's going to get worse in the next week or so. The reason people are out and about, the reason people are just going about their day, the reason people are just living life. But I'm going to say this, that way you know it's not just me saying it. It says here, in recent days, several countries that have not historically reported monkeypox cases, including Brazil and Spain, have confirmed deaths due to the virus, as according to the Associated Press. Okay, they don't mince words. So it may not be a thing that they're talking about now, but be aware, if you get it, there's a chance of death. Okay, a lot of people are thinking, oh, I'm just going to be itchy for days, I'm going to have scabs, I'm going to have to quarantine. You don't want it to begin with. This is why I say, be careful. Okay, that's why I say to my mom, put a VR headset on and enjoy having life at home for the next few weeks, okay? There are some people that are already at risk, okay? And that's anybody with diabetes. It's anybody over, they could have health problems already. My mom has intestine problems, right? You don't want somebody who already has that to get it. And you don't want to bring it anywhere near them, right? And I told her, I said, sometimes I have to go out. I was supposed to go out yesterday to an event in Ontario. Great, set of news with an airport that actually has like $39 tickets. I think from here to San Francisco, which is awesome, right? But you got to do it safe, right? I'm like, bundle up, if you're going to do it. But at the same time, I didn't go. But I said, look, if I got infected and I knew I got infected, I would stay away. I'd probably find a motel and just stay there, right? I would not want to bring it because the chance of her getting well versus the opposite is not good, right? So if you have someone in your family that you feel, oh, by the way, you should kind of get that now because it's going to be a big outbreak here in LA. Okay, a lot of people are going to not want to say anything in the next few months because it's very obvious when it's on your body. Okay, some people are going to social media and they're saying, hey, I want to get the word out. And I say, yay. But a lot of people are going to say, I'm not going to tell anyone because they know now they have it for life. That's the problem. These vaccines help, but they don't cure. Okay, they had it segmented in in Africa, but there are areas where it's going to be a thing for probably years to come. Okay, that's the thing I want to get out there because this is why when you hear it, you go, "Why is this a thing?" It's a thing because in the past few months, it's kind of been underreported. Now all of a sudden, it's going to be everything you hear in the next probably. Yeah, month to a few months because people are finding out this causes a problem. And it especially causes a problem with people who are pregnant. If you have a pregnancy looming, or you get pregnant and you get this, or you get it from someone, all right, this will have a problem with the kid born. In the developmental stages of pox, it'll be a problem. Now, this particular study says it's a cousin of smallpox, and that's true. But it's not like a child of smallpox. It's a cousin. All the pox are cousins of each other. But like I say, chickenpox stays dormant in the body, becomes shingles later on in life. Monkeypox stays in the body. Smallpox stays in the body. They all stay in the body, but smallpox, we had a good treatment for it. And people used to get, what's it called? Inoculation, right? Or immunized. But it's morphed in the past few years. So a lot of the new strains, just like coronavirus, have made it worse. Okay, so am I kind of like spreading some like information that hopefully gets in your head and you go, you know what, I'm going to take it serious? I hope the answer yes. For anybody that says, well, how dare you, I say, how dare you for being the person, just like in 2020, who said coronavirus wasn't a thing. Now how many people have died from it, right? I've had to bury people from it, right? And I only knew it was a thing because my sister got it, and thankfully she healed from it, but she had to get treatment, okay? And she had to stay in the hospital for a few weeks, all right? She was in ICU. She was in a bed for a few weeks. So my point is, I know it's real. I had to share my own experience. But do I want to share my experience of, no, see, monkeypox, it's real? No way, Jose. Neither should you, Jesse, so don't go out, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, no plans to go out anywhere. I'm no.
Look, I know people have to live.
then
I'm
I'm
not
just like-
saying shut yourself in, right?
I understand.
But like I'll give you an example. Let's say your ma or your grandma or your aunt or uncle who's like above, I'll say 60 and above, okay? And they're in an area that's infections are on the rise, okay? There are areas where infections are not on the rise, okay? Those areas are more safe than not, right? But do you think I want my mom, who already is at risk, to go to anywhere near or go to LA, right? Downtown LA, and ride the bus there and then come back and hope she doesn't get it? Do you know what I mean? Give her a ride, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
All right, so a lot of people who take the public, you know, there's going to be a problem, okay? New York said they're at the epicenter of it. They need to go back to the way they did with coronavirus at the very beginning, where they shut down, at least for a couple hours, early mornings, and they bacteria'd up that thing, meaning they got rid of the bacteria, right? Where they had like certain cleaners, they had certain disinfectants, they had UV light, they have all of that. They have the ability to stamp it out. They do, but people are going left, right, and center. So it's kind of being treated as an emergency in order for them to get treatment. And probably in the next few months, I'll say, I think they'll probably make another mandate when it comes to, there's some people say that there already is when it comes to rent or like certain things paid, because people are not going to be able to go to work with this. Okay, there's going to be you don't want people to go to work with this. That's number one. And number two, you want people to kind of like get over it, right? And now I'm not saying 100% are going to die. I already said that. I said 30 to 38% are possibly going to die from this, because if you do the math of monkeypox when it first came out, especially in areas like Africa and other areas, in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, it was a thing, okay? Now they got ahead of it. They quarantined those people, and they didn't have as much travel as they do now. But now everyone gets out and about. So I say, look, you got to live life, right? But wear long sleeve, wear gloves, and be careful who you are around, okay? That's what I say about this. So just be aware it's a thing. You'll hear it in the next few days. I see some people don't even watch the news. I get that. But if you are one who likes to, you know, help your friends or family out, help them out by saying, look, don't get monkeypox. That's it, okay? Leave it at that. I know some people are like, no, I don't fear anything. I say, you know what, you're the person to probably get sick. And then, you know what, months later, they're sick. You know what I mean? And then they go on Facebook going, guys, it's a real thing. So let's not have a rerun of that we did in 2020 and 2021 with coronavirus. Because I know a lot of people, including radio hosts, that ended up getting sick, dying from it. Remember, even religious leaders were getting sick from it, saying, no, we can cure you, because they were like faith healers or something. And I'm like, you guys are dumb. Well, they're going back to the way it was again. And I say, not with monkeypox. You shouldn't. But anyway, that's going to be a thing. Now, there is hope, okay? The Jynneos vaccine, which is approved by the Food and Drug Administration for smallpox and monkeypox, has been delivered across the country. But I will say this. We have how many millions of people here in the U.S., Jesse?
You know what? I actually don't know that.
About
I do not
four,
know.
yeah, about 400 million or so. Okay, there's only 600,000 doses going around. Okay. Now, again, all right, I'm going to give you some perspective. Coronavirus has basically anywhere from 40 to 50% of the nation been able to vaccinate the nation, right? Whether you choose it or don't choose it, okay? The amount of people that you do with your math, you go, okay, there's at least, what, 12, 13, 14, 15,000 that have reported this across the nation here in the U.S., right? You go, oh, there's enough. There is if they stop them from going out and spreading it. The problem is we only had a few cases here in California like 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, right? Now it's up in the hundreds just a few weeks later. The way viruses spread and mutate and then spread and spread and spread and spread and spread and spread and spread within a few months at the rate of infection, we will probably have, at least here in California, maybe anywhere from, I would say, 100 to 300,000, maybe 100 to 100. Okay, probably, let's go for 100,000. Okay, safe. 100,000 in the next few weeks at the rate that it's climbing. Okay, that's what researchers, biologists, and others, when they put all these numbers in, based on how people travel, how they infect, how they get it, you get it? That's why when you have like a cold or a flu, when it's flu season, you have usually friends that go, yeah, I had the flu, right? You didn't even have to come in close contact. They got it. That's going to be a monkeypox, Jesse. So we don't have enough. Now, that we have 100,000, and there's only 600,000 doses to go around. And in just the next few weeks, do you understand what I'm saying? There's not going to be enough in the next few months. They need to mass produce that. And the problem is, it's not a U.S. problem. It's a world problem. It's in at least 80 plus countries, Jesse. The U.S. of A is a country. Mexico is a country. Canada is a country. It's in all these places, Jesse. So we don't have enough to go around. Do you understand why I'm kind of going, ah? But again, I want people that watch to say, okay, we're going to be at least aware of it and ahead of it. Algenia there says United Kingdom and France is increasing. Yeah. And they're already saying deaths are in certain areas that they've never reported this stuff before. Now, they've reported that a total of 1.1 million doses will be available to states and jurisdictions across the country in the next few weeks. I will say this. I'm glad, but I'm wondering which strain they're going to have it available for. You just don't want to get it. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Don't feel, oh, we got the treatment, because that says, in essence, okay, look at coronavirus. How many people have still gotten coronavirus and still got treated, Jesse?
Millions.
Yeah, millions. Yeah, and around the world, even more than that, right? So we live in a world situation right now, and this is a problem. And I'm telling you, man, 2020 was the beginning of everything weird on this earth, right? Before that, we had no problem just being like, you know what? Jesse and I used to share just fun news and just like whatever news. Ever since 2020, we're like, oh, why do we have to be those people that say these things exist? You know what I mean? But there's so many people that say the opposite. I'm like, don't believe those people. They're wrong and dumb. Don't believe that. So don't fall into that. Do the math and don't get it. Okay, that's number one. If we can see you by this time next year and you didn't get it, you including you too, Jesse, then I say, okay, we did the right thing. We got the information out. Okay, that means we're aware of it, we're alert of it, and we don't go near people that have it, Jesse. Okay, if you have it, you better tell me, because I'm not going anywhere near you. By the way, you want to go out to lunch next week?
Yeah.
Oh God, you would do that. Okay, anyway, so be careful out there, people. All right, Jesse. I know you're sitting on some news. What's going on over there?
Yeah, how close are you to West Hollywood?
Oh God, I don't want to tell you. I'm close-ish.
Okay. No, this story actually popped up about an hour ago. So apparently a couple of inmates escaped earlier today from a bus.
Of course they did. You know what? There's so many problems in LA right now. I'm not going to lie. Okay, in West Hollywood, for those that know, I live like in the San Gabriel Valley. For those that know, it's near Pasadena. By the way, Jesse, guess what? I know I'm going to totally... in Long Beach and Pasadena, there's already an outbreak of monkeypox.
Yes, I heard about that. And you know what? I was actually going to go to a convention in Long Beach on last week, so I decided against it. So
Not a
as
bad
much
idea.
fun
Anyway,
as
what
it
were you
was.
saying about this?
Oh yeah, so we forgot an inmate who was being loaded into a Los Angeles transporter this morning. Actually, it's about an hour ago. He escaped around 7 a.m. Around the Santa Monica Boulevard. Deputies set up a perimeter. I have no word yet whether or not they captured him. So right now he's just walking around.
Okay, so that's west of me,
Hopefully
by the
they'll be
way.
able-
It's at least a good half hour away from me, so I'm good to go. I'm safe.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. The suspect is described as a 6'4". Good God, he's tall. Wearing a black shirt, blue jeans. Anyone who is taller than me, I call them Stretch. So I'm like, oh, what's up, Stretch?
Got it. Okay. So be careful if you're in the West Hollywood district, right? Yeah. Yeah. You got to be careful out there. All right. Well, look, for those here, thank you for tuning in. I know in the last couple of days I wasn't on here, had some things, but I'm both. How do I say this? I'm happy to be back, and I'm not, because I don't want to talk monkeypox. So let's just stamp it out, get rid of it, and then we don't have to discuss it and get you guys aware of it so that you can stay safe. I hope we're saving lives through this information. So spread out good information, not bad information, and make sure people know the truth about what is here already, because it's here. We've been talking about it the last few weeks. I feel like we're almost experts, right, Jesse?
Oh yeah, we've been talking about it for a while. It's I see a lot of people in comments, and there's just like, there's so many, like, I typed in monkeypox and there was like 4 stories that involved the LGBTQ plus.
Yeah, and it's not. It's among many. I will say the LGBTQ are very vocal about it, like they were with HIV, but they got aware of it and they have their community members go, okay, people, let's not do the wrong thing, right? Let's be safe. So I would, if anything, take the advice like that and be like, if you go on a date and you go with someone that might be with a rash or something where they're itchy, just say no. Reschedule that thing, okay? And then say, go to the doctor, bye-bye. Right? I'm not dating for years to come. All right, people, make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. Bye-bye, everyone.